Hello there. What's going on, lunch breakers and takers? This is another live episode of the Lunch Break Hot Take. I am Jose.
And I am Rodney.
All right, and we missed last week's show. Sorry for the inconvenience, but if you saw our did we do a live stream? We did do a live stream after the NFC Championship.
Yeah, not last Wednesday.
Not last Wednesday. Yeah, your boy here, right over here, he got the COVID, so he was a little sick. So, but I'm feeling better. Not all the way better, but better. But we're back. We're back with our live show. We got some goodies to talk about. We have been putting out videos still. So if you follow the channel, but if you're not a follower, if you're new to this channel, make sure you take a minute to hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube, over on Sportscaster. Shout out to everybody over on Sportscaster as well. We see you guys coming into the room. Make sure you hit the follow over on over there. And I see some people getting in the room already. They're ready to hear some football talk. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I know this is mainly a Ravens driven channel, but our brother B over there, he's a Panthers fan. All right, so we
unfortunately,
and our man Derek Weatherly. I know Derek Weatherly. If he ain't here yet, he's gonna be in the room. Shout out to Derek Weatherly. There's a couple other Panthers fans out there. We don't want to neglect you guys of Panthers news, and this is a big one. So we're gonna get into the Ravens stuff. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna cover Ravens. You guys see the title. We're gonna be talking some Panthers, possibly getting DeShaun Watson. We're gonna be talking more Eric DeCosta. He has a press conference, and we're going to break that down a little bit more and some other moves we think they could make. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about the soon-to-be former Seahawks offensive lineman Chad Wheeler beating up his girlfriend. And we'll talk about the asinine comments from Max Kellerman saying that Lamar Jackson, he would take him seventh at quarterback. Eighth at quarterback. That's right. He takes 7 quarterbacks over him. So there you have it. Oh, look what's going on. Shout out to our Patreon member Ferris. What's going on, my man? DeShaun Watson going to the Panthers. I could see. Okay.
That's right.
All right, Derek Weatherly. Shout out to Derek Weatherly. What's going on, man?
What's up, Derek?
Gosh, child. What's going on? Thank y'all for joining the live stream. All right, man. Let's get into it. Let's talk real quick about the Panthers, and are they the favorite to land DeShaun Watson? Like who said it? Was it Pro Football Focus or Bleacher Report? One of them said that they were the favorites to land DeShaun Watson. Your sound went out. Oh, you're on mute, B. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Hold on. Let me unmute you. No, your mic's on mute. Can you unmute it? Okay. B will be right back. Shout out to Attitude Pop, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'll be seeing you guys making your comments on the videos, man. So we really appreciate it. I see the views have been going up lately. You guys been liking the content. J Will 501, what's going on? What's up? Did you see the video of Eric DeCosta on Ravens Twitter, and how much would the Panthers give up to get DeShaun? We're gonna be talking about that real soon. I want to be to kind of lead it off because that's his team, but DeShaun Watson, man, that would be a huge grab for the Panthers. I think they've done a solid job in Matt Rule's first year. They for breaking down the team like they did. I didn't think they had to completely tear down the defense, but it is what it is. On the offensive side, they have weapons, right? Curtis Samuel is a free agent, but they still have, Christian McCaffrey. He was hurt all last year, but, he'll be back. They have DJ Moore. They just brought back Robbie Anderson, or they signed Robbie Anderson. So the wide receiver core is pretty good. Now, they do need to work on their O-line, so that's something you got to look at this offseason. How are they going to fix that O-line? But they do that, bringing in DeShaun Watson on offense, man. Yeah, they'll be trending in the right direction. So there's some other teams, obviously, that are going to be interested in getting DeShaun. Hold on. Let me bring B back up real quick. There he is. Hello. So I just broke down real quick kind kind of what you guys had on offense. I just talked about the wide receivers and Christian McCaffrey. For now, I have a feeling if you trade for DeShaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey might be a part of that trade.
Yeah. Little technical difficulties there. Matt Rule was talking, I guess earlier today or yesterday, about what makes a quarterback, and he mentioned specifically, protection and having a lot of weapons. So I mean, I think they'll do what they can to keep McCaffrey and maybe even. But yeah, if they end like seriously going after DeShaun Watson, you're gonna have to give them what they want, basically.
Yeah.
Unless
you're breaking up again, B. Your audio's going out again. All right, real quick, we'll go over some comments real quick. Felipe says he thinks DeShaun is staying. Well, look, the Texans right now, the word is they're close to hiring their head coach. It's between Leslie Frazier and our Ravens pass game coordinator. I forget his name now. David. His name escapes me right now, but he's supposed to be our pass game coordinator / wide receivers coach. But one of those guys are going to get the job. If DeShaun Watson, if he likes him, maybe they can talk him into staying. Right now, I don't see it happening though. I think it's beyond the head coaching move. So I think he's going to be on the move, and there's enough teams that are going to make him offers or make the Texans offers to where they're going to want to move on. Let's see. Ferris says, "Is Curtis Samuel a wide receiver? What the hell is he?" Curtis Samuel is a wide receiver. He lines up at running back a lot. He played running back in college, I believe. So he was all over the place for the Panthers. He went over 1,000 yards from script, or total yards, I should say, this year. He played a lot in the backfield. He runs excellent routes. He can do it all, man. I would love for the Ravens to get him. I think he would thrive well in Baltimore. So yeah, he's a free agent. I don't think the Panthers are going to bring him back, but yeah, he's a good wide receiver, and you can use him as a running back as well. All right, B, let's bring you up again. Are you there, B? Are you there?
I am. Can you hear
me? He's there. Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Cully, yeah, thank you, Jay Will. Yeah, David Cully. David Cully is the coach I'm thinking about for the Ravens. Pass game coordinator. I do that in quotes because there ain't no passing going on in Baltimore. Wow. Pass game coordinator.
I'm out for 45 seconds, and we're already on to the Ravens.
No. I brought him up because he's one of the coaching candidates for Houston. Yeah.
So like I was saying, I think that if they go after DeShaun Watson, they're going to have to probably give up Christian McCaffrey, I would think. Along with multiple picks. But if that's the route you want to go, he's certainly worth it. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is very replaceable.
Yeah. Derek doesn't think you guys have the draft capital to get Watson.
I think so. I mean, they it's just going to take multiple years first round picks, right?
Yeah.
So you say Christian McCaffrey this year's first, maybe this year's second, next year's first, and a third or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a ton of picks in this draft to trade, but it's going to be a multi-year thing anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, I think that's a long shot. I don't think DeShaun Watson wants to be a Panther. The talk is that he wants to go to the Jets for whatever reason, I guess, to live in New York.
Yeah. And you and I discussed that before too, right? If I'm the Jets or if I'm the Jaguars, right, the number one pick, I'm going ahead and shopping that right over to Houston, and I'm saying, look, we're not giving you multiple picks. We're giving you one pick. You can pick. You can pick your quarterback, right, whichever one you like, and we'll take DeShaun Watson. But we're not, it's not gonna be multiple picks. We'll give you a first, and you give us DeShaun, and we'll keep it moving like that, right?
I think maybe Jacksonville could get away with that. The Jets can, because you're not getting that level of prospect at number 2.
Right. The Jets will have to give up more, but it's still if you're Houston, that's something to consider. We'll give you that first, and we'll give you maybe our second or something like that. But yeah, I can see the Jets being in place. Well, look, it's going to have to be someplace where DeShaun signs off on because he has a no trade clause.
Yeah.
So,
But as far as Carolina goes, like I said, I think it's a long shot to get DeShaun Watson. So then you got to start thinking, do you want to go after Matt Stafford, who just, they just announced they're going to be moving him. Do you want to try and sit at 8 and maybe take a Trey Lance there, or try to package some picks and move up and take a shot at Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
yeah.
Personally, I'm not real big on Stafford. I think that comes from being a fan of quarterbacks like Cam, like Lamar, who get crucified for not winning at all, no matter what their circumstances are. And then, Matt Stafford, not so much. And so it kind of makes me not like Matt Stafford very much. I know that's not his fault, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And fair speaking some truth here. He said y'all had no pass game. Talking about the Ravens. Coley getting the job is like a DB from Philly getting a head coach job. Laughable. Hire Leslie, give him another shot. They give all those whack coaches second chances. You're right.
This is true.
Yeah, I got no arguments there. I got no arguments there.
Yeah.
Fair says he likes Matt Stafford. Yeah, I think his whole career has been overhyped.
Listen, Matt Stafford is great unless you have to play a team who can win games.
Yeah,
you got to play against a team who can win games. Then maybe you want somebody else by your side.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, like he's not. We're not calling.
Right? He drinks beer.
Yeah.
I know what he doesn't like to do. He doesn't like beating winning teams, and he doesn't like putting in work in the offseason.
Man, you want to talk about privilege, man? You talking about a number 1 overall pick who's had no expectations his whole career, zero. All right, like I don't care if you went to a trash team, like nobody ever talks about Matt Stafford in a negative way, and he's never won. He's a loser. However you want to define a loser, he's a loser. Okay, yeah, he's talented. He's got an arm though.
Yeah.
You can't blame Matt Stafford for the media narrative. I can blame Matt Stafford for not being better. All right. Yeah.
I don't blame him for the media narrative.
No.
But like I said, you win some games, dude. Win some games. That's all.
Yeah. No, he's not a terrible quarterback. No, we're not saying that. Gee, this man's been overhyped, and you're right. It's not his fault. It's not his fault, but yeah, you could do better than that. Derek Weatherly wants to know for the Panthers, could Prescott become an option?
I mean, I would love that. We had actually talked about before him being an option maybe for Houston. Because Dallas obviously doesn't want to pay him, right? And that would allow Houston to, stay at a similar level of quarterback, and Dallas gets a quarterback who's under contract. As far as Carolina, I mean, that'd be fantastic. I don't know that Dallas would want to take back Teddy Bridgewater in a deal like that, though.
Yeah. Real quick over on Sportscaster, BJ Nats 96. Thank you for the tip, and thank you for joining the live stream. Greatly appreciate that. Just Making Waves, thank you for joining the live stream. Shout out to you guys over on Sportscaster, and shout out to everybody that's over on Periscope watching as well. And like I said before, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe over on YouTube. Give us a follow over on Sportscaster. All right. If you guys like what we're doing and you want support, there's 2 ways. Right above there, you can be a patron. Right, go to patreon.com/LBHT show. Be a patron like our man Ferris in the chat, man. Shout out to you, Ferris, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right. Also, B, if you would do the honors, right above B right there, you got our Cash App. Make sure you go there, LBHT show, $LBHT show. And if you leave if you leave a tip, make sure you leave a comment so we can read it on our air. We use it as our super chat. So thank you guys. Okay, so what else did you want to cover for?
So with Carolina, is it DeShaun? I think is a long shot. So I think the best options for Carolina, they just hired a new GM, Scott Fitterer, who's been working in Seattle since 2001. He was an area scout from 2001 to 2010. Then he was the director of college scouting from 2011 to 2014. Got promoted again to co-director of pro personnel. And this past year, he was their VP of player personnel. Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, he's had a big role. He worked up, his way up the ladder there. But from 2011 on, I mean, he obviously he wasn't the GM, but he was the director of college scouting. So you gotta assume he had a big say in their draft classes.
Right.
And he showed the ability to find players later in the draft, right, in later rounds.
Yeah.
You got David Moore and Chris Carson in the 7th round, the guard Glowinski in the 4th, KJ Wright in the 4th, Richard Sherman in the 5th. So I mean, I think he did a pretty good job there, and also he's a part of that front office that drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd.
Right.
So I think you're bringing in a guy who, I mean, reasonably you should say he has a decent idea of what to look for in quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not going to be able to trade for DeShaun Watson, I would say the best option probably for Carolina is to sit at 8 and hope Trey Lance falls to you. Let Teddy start this year coming up. Let Trey Lance sit on the bench and develop a bit, and then transition in 2022. Outside of that, if he's not available at 8, I think you have to go with the best left tackle available there because
they need protection. Yeah. Carolina needs the protection. Yeah. So it's early, so we don't know how he's going to be as a GM. Can't say that's a good move or a bad move. I feel confident it's better. It's an upgrade from Marty Hurney. Yes.
Part of me is a little wary because they said that part of the reason they hired him is that he's got experience working in a front office where the coach has a big say, and they come out and said that Matt Rule has the final say in Carolina. So that makes me a little nervous. I don't like the head coach also being the GM essentially. But I think that they hired a guy who knows his stuff. So if Matt Rule listens, they should be able to rebuild this thing.
Yeah.
But this offseason, there's going to be a ton of quarterbacks available.
Yes.
Right? The Rams are looking to move on from Jared Goff now. Carson Wentz may be available, although I think he stays in Indianapolis. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be available. Like Derek said, Dak is probably, you can probably get Dak. I don't think they're looking to shop him or anything, but you can probably get him out of there.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's, almost certainly going to be available. So there's a lot of different ways they could go. But honestly, I think they should be locking in on Trey Lance or just sticking with Bridgewater for another year.
Okay. Speaking of Trey, Ferris brings a point here. He says Trey's got a lot of tools, but like y'all told me, tools don't mean anything if you don't know how to use them. And Trey is going to need a lot of coaching. Yes, I think Matt Rule knows what he's doing, man.
And that's fine. They've got a quarterback under contract for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So sit him his rookie year, and if he looks like he's ready to go, then he can start. If not, I mean, you can have him sit again. Like that's how it used to be for quarterbacks.
Now,
right?
Felipe Marino. Shout out to Felipe Marino, man. Stop it. Okay, stop it. He said, Brian, he meant B. What about trading for Minshew? Gardner Minshew?
I was going to mention him too. Yeah, Gardner Minshew is definitely going to be available. Do not want the AutoZone manager. No, thank you.
Why Gardner Minshew when you have all these other options, man? I know we were just crapping on Matt Stafford a little bit, but he's better than Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, he is Matt Stafford without the arm.
So. Yeah. I'm not even going to make that comparison. Matt Stafford is a better quarterback. All right. Derek says 2020 draft was a solid hit all aside. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Brown, Chin, Pride. Yeah. We're all wins. Yeah. This guy right here was big on Jeremy Chin. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was not high on Chin at all. I still don't think he can cover, but he can play. He's made plays. So hopefully they'll find a spot for him where he's not getting exposed in coverage too often.
Yeah.
But I think, they did a really nice job this past year in the draft.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the future's looking bright for the Panthers, man. This year's going to tell me a lot about this organization as far as, what they're going to be for the next few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a big off season for them. Now, speaking of off seasons, you ready to move over? I know you guys are ready. Ravens off-season moves. Ooh.
Well, let me just say one last thing.
Sure.
the biggest thing for Carolina right now is I want to see them get Taylor Moton locked up and at least make the effort to keep Curtis Samuel. I know that one might be difficult, but you have to at least try.
I don't understand. I mean, this shouldn't even be something we're discussing. Taylor Moton he should have already had his deal done. And
Yeah,
I
but you
feel,
got a new GM now. That's test number one.
yeah,
You have to get that deal done.
like honestly, it should be Taylor Moton and Curtis Samuel. Like Samuel should not be a free agent because especially with what we're talking about, if you move on from if you do trade for DeShaun Watson, I feel like Christian McCaffrey is going to be a part of that trade. I feel like he is, and even if he isn't, you paid him too much, right?
Yeah.
For a running back like that to get your money's worth, he's got you got about a 3-year window, and he already missed one of those years. So you're talking about 2 more years where he's going to be worth it. You know what I mean? Not saying he's going to be bad after that, but where the team, not us, the team's going to be looking at his contract and thinking, yo, can we afford to keep paying a running back like this? You know what I mean? It's usually like a 3-year window. You already wasted one of those years. I feel like you got to trade him. I feel like you got to trade him. And
I think they should be pushing to include Christian McCaffrey in any deal like that.
Yeah. And have somebody like Curtis Samuel who can run out the backfield, along with Mike Davis. That helps make up for losing somebody like that because he is a weapon for sure. Christian McCaffrey is a weapon. He's a bad man, but you should be looking to move on from him. Yeah. Okay. Derek says Jimmy Chin is a modern version of Troy Polamalu. Okay.
Wow.
Safety playing like a linebacker.
We going there, huh?
Listen,
going there already?
That's a look. I'm a Ravens fan, but Troy Polamalu, that was a bad man. Okay, that's a tough comparison to make, dude.
I can certainly see where you're going with that comparison in terms of how he plays, but just let's hold off on using names like Troy Polamalu.
I'll say this though. I'll say this. Derek isn't completely wrong because starting out his career, Troy Polamalu wasn't good at coverage either. He was always susceptible to the double move. In the beginning, I loved playing against him, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, this guy he can't cover, but he fixed that problem. He fixed that problem, and there is something to be said for the comparison, right? Like he's always around the ball, he's making plays, and Jeremy Chin made plays this year.
No, absolutely. I can see where he's going with the comparison. It's just it's tough to throw around names like that.
Yeah,
after 1 year is all.
Yeah.
But no, they've definitely got a very, very nice young core on defense with Brian Burns, Gross Matos, Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin. I think you're gonna have to move Shaq Thompson out of there sooner rather than later. His contract, and you got to get some corners.
Yeah, and there was some comments earlier. I saw people were questioning why would DeShaun want to go to the Jets? Yes, it is a crappy organization. Got it, but they clean house, right? And they have a coach that's revered by a lot of players around the NFL.
And he gets to live in New York.
Yeah, he gets to be in New York, and he gets to be a face of a New York team. But no, man, like Fred, a clean slate, fresh start, and if it's a coach that you believe in, look, wherever Deshaun Watson goes, wherever he wants to go, there's no risk for him. His contract isn't that long of a contract, so if it doesn't work out, he can hit the streets again and go somewhere else, right? Like his performance is never going to be in question. He's going to play well. So if he wants to go there and try to build something over there, yeah, man, I get it. I get it. It's a big market. All right, going over to the Ravens real quick. Adit Mahmood, shout out for you coming on to the live stream. He says Eric DeCosta mentioned 3 wide receivers at Senior Bowl who were smaller but more athletic rather than bigger guys, meaning 6'3" plus. Is that an indication that they prefer drafting faster and shorter receivers? Okay, so we're gonna quote our man from Football Game Plan. Size is not a skill. Okay, size is not a skill. Don't worry about how tall they are. Okay, that means absolutely nothing about how good you're gonna be. I think speed, definitely he's looking at. Well, I know he is because he mentioned that last year when he drafted Hollywood. He said watching them play the Chiefs and watching Tyreek Hill run all around the field like a glitch. He said, yeah, we need to add some speed like that. So I think that was a big reason why we drafted Hollywood over everybody else. And yeah, absolutely, he wants to add more speed. I think he's looking for home run hitters right now. I think he's looking for home run hitters. So when we do pass the ball, we're not passing the ball a lot, but when we do pass the ball, we have guys that could take it all the way to the house. I think that's
I
his
think
vision.
that's why they drafted Duvernay as well.
Yes.
Because it certainly wasn't his hands or route running.
Sure it wasn't. And he says Ravens get 2 third-round picks if Coley gets hired. Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it 2 or is it? Cause I thought it was 1, but I guess maybe it's 2. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. See, Ferris, this is exactly why DeShaun wants to go to the Jets. He says, I really love Robert Saleh. I would run through a wall for him. Yeah.
And then all that would happen is he would tell you to get up and run through another one.
Yeah. One more. Okay. See, there, he says players love Ron Rivera, but nobody's going to DC. I don't agree with that. Everybody goes to DC because they pay. That's always been the thing around, for Washington fans in this area is, like players when they get here, like they say like, yeah, Washington is known for paying players, right? Overpaying them. So it's not a problem getting players, it's getting the right players. I don't think he's gonna have any problem getting somebody to go over there and play.
I mean, I think being a player's coach does matter. It does. I think you'll see over the next few years players going to play for Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Players love him.
Yeah.
Right? Whether or not, I mean, that's going to depend also on how much money they have. Like, I don't know Washington's cap situation right now.
Yeah.
If they don't have the money to pay, then I mean, you're not going to see guys going there. But if they do, I mean, Marty Herney is there in an advisory role. He likes to spend some money.
Yeah.
So you have that combined with people loving Ron Rivera, you'll see free agents going there.
Yeah. But all right, so shout out to Adib Mahmoud. I think I'm saying that right. But so Eric DaCosta is down at Senior Bowl right now, and he's going to be working his magic there. One thing he mentioned at the press conference, we covered that. We did a video on that. He did mention wanting to get more draft picks, right? So he was anticipating getting a couple of comp picks already, and he said he was going to talk to some guys down at Senior Bowl to see what's available out there, and not just in terms of picks. He did mention players, like he wanted to get a feel for which players teams were willing to part with, so he can have idea of who he could try to trade for, who he can try to go after, and in free agency and things like that. So this is a interesting time for the Ravens, because I think this is where they do a lot of their work. They're huge on the Senior Bowl. Like that's one of their things. They really scout those players. So if there's some guys that he mentioned, you better believe that they're on his list.
Yeah, and that's going to be a thing for Carolina also. They're coaching one of the teams. So if you want a kind of an inside track as to who they are probably going to be looking at least in the middle and late rounds, just go ahead and look at the Senior Bowl rosters.
Okay.
Because that's always a big advantage for the teams that are coaching those teams.
Yeah. And Felipe thinks we'll end up with AJ Green and trading for Ertz with the comp picks for Cully, Yannick, and Judon. And we will trade Orlando Brown this offseason. Just wait. I think you're pretty spot on, man. I don't know if we're bringing in AJ Green. There was a point where I wanted AJ Green, but not anymore. But who knows? He could end up here. We are going to get some veteran. It'll probably be somebody underwhelming. Zach Ertz, I can absolutely see us getting Zach Ertz. I wouldn't be mad at that. We tried to trade for him, but he got hurt. So I can see those moves happening. Judon and Yannick, those are interesting because I feel like they're going to bring back one of them, if we're being honest. I feel like they're going to bring back one of them. Probably Judon.
And that's going to be what they use as the reason that they didn't get a better wide receiver.
Yes, exactly. Which is why we'll end up with somebody like AJ Green. You know what I mean? So, I feel like one of them's coming back. And, Orlando Brown, that's an interesting one. I don't think we're going to be able to get a deal done with them. I would be very happy if they managed to extend Orlando Brown. I'd be very happy about that, because that's a move that would shock me, because Orlando Brown is about to get left tackle money. He had an excellent year replacing Ronnie Stanley, who went out at left tackle, and he showed people he can play that both positions. So he's going to make a lot of money. And if they talk him into extending and going back to right tackle, geez, that's a win. I definitely give Eric DeCosta credit.
And offer him Christian McCaffrey for Orlando Brown. I mean, you just tell him, hey, you can line him up a receiver.
Yeah.
But he plays running back, right? That's right up their alley.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want Curtis Samuel. Yeah, man, baby Zeus, Ferris. Yeah, I mean, look, the Ravens do certain things really well, man, and O-line is one of them. O-line is one of them. They did an excellent job getting those bookend tackles. They got to work on the interior O-line this offseason, and Eric DeCosta mentioned that too, that they want to get better there. And he mentioned looking in free agency, so I think there's some guys that they recognize that are going to be available that can help out. You and I mentioned Alex Mack for center. I would love that. Center is where we really need to beef up, I think, because you saw this mishandle on snaps too many times in too many games, right? So
all of them.
Yeah. Well,
it's like I understood Skura, he had a laceration on his hand. Okay.
Yeah.
But then it spread to the others.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to get better there. Oh, okay. Hold on. Norm Core over on Sportscaster. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the center position, and we knew that was going to be a problem. We knew it. I mean, I was never that high on Matt Skura. And he was coming off of injuries. I didn't think he was going to play like he did last year. So that was a downgrade there. Macari, like all these guys are like undrafted players. So I mean, talent wise, they weren't that talented, and talent. You don't have to be the most talented person to play offensive lineman, but it helps. And I think they pay for it this year, so I think they're going to look to definitely get some players that are more talented, not just and disciplined.
Yeah, I mean that's a lesson that Baltimore needs to learn. They've been learning it the hard way because they're used to just developing guys and letting them walk and saying, hey, we can just develop the replacement. They let Ryan Jensen walk, and he's been one of the top centers in the league since he left Baltimore.
Yeah,
that was a mistake. You let Zadarius Smith walk, and now you can't buy an edge rusher now.
Oh my God, yeah.
So it's an organizational thing. You gotta at some point you gotta say we gotta pay these guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Ferris wants to know the Carolina coaching staff is one of the Senior Bowl staff. Do you think being one of the staff at the Senior Bowl gives you a leg up? Because I have seen it with other teams. Nothing happens.
I think it does. You certainly get to know a lot of those players better than you otherwise would, and I think that's especially true this year. Whether or not any of those guys turn out to be great players in the NFL is another question. But you get to know them much better. You get to see them in practice. You get to see them in games. You get to see how they respond to your style of coaching.
Yeah.
So I think it does give you a bit of an advantage. And then it's up to your GM to actually cash in on that.
Yeah, I think it absolutely does give you an advantage for teams that know what they're doing, right? Yeah. And if you listen to me and B, we don't believe that there's a good portion of the league that just don't know what they're doing, right? You have teams like the Ravens, and I think it's going to be the same with the Panthers with Matt Rule. Like they have a system, right? They know exactly the type of player that they want at certain positions and what they want them to do, right? That's a big thing, right? Because you get players that are talented, they're really talented. But do you really have an idea of how you want to use them, and how do you want to use them? Can they do those things? So I think the Ravens really excel at that. That's one thing that made Ozzie great, was looking at a player and saying he does this specific thing really well, which is what we will need him to do here, and he could thrive here. He could be a star, especially on defense and the O-line. I think he does that great with O-line. So yeah, that's why they love going to the Senior Bowl, because look. The Senior Bowl, I mean, until recent, I mean, it was one of those things that kind of got overlooked because, you're talking about seniors, right? It's like seniors always kind of get a downgrade on their stock because they stay for 4 years and not 3 years, right? Yeah. When you stay that extra year, people look at you like, okay, well, what's wrong with you? How come you weren't talented enough to leave after your junior year? So good teams take advantage of that. They go down there. They get on that coaching staff. They get to work the guys out. They get to talk to them a little bit, kind of see where their head's at. That's a huge advantage because you look at it. You're working them out like you would do at the combine, and you get to talk to them face to face. You get to interview them. That's like it's an extra workout. It's an extra interview before the combine, before pro days and all that stuff. You get to talk to them one-on-one. So it's a huge advantage being on that coaching staff. So,
and
yeah.
particularly for Carolina this year, who's looking for a quarterback, right? Like they've got Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond on their team, and they're going to get to be able to coach Mac Jones as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that will hopefully disabuse them of the notion that any of those guys can be their quarterback, and then they can focus on the Trey Lance and the Justin Fields and Zach Wilson or Deshaun Watson, right? Because what I don't want to see is, oh, well, we took our left tackle, then we drafted Mac Jones in the second round, and let's waste 3 years on him.
Ferris wants to know where John Urschel is. John Urschel he's going to develop. Yeah, he's a mathematician now. I'm not sure. He graduated from MIT already, I think. He's writing books, and he's going to develop some brand new type of rocket fuel at some point, man. That dude is a genius. He's a genius.
Not the Matt Patricia kind of MIT either. He's legit.
Yeah. He was one of those people that was just too smart for football. That's pretty much what happened. There was nothing wrong with him. He was just too smart to play football anymore. Felipe says the Senior Bowl receivers are on fire. This will be a loaded wide receiver draft. Whether it is or it isn't, this is one of the weak spots for the Ravens. We don't scout wide receivers well. I just the only thing I can hope is that we get lucky. All right. I think we would have gotten lucky last year if we didn't wait until 18 wide receivers went off the board before we got Devin Duvernay.
Yeah. T. Higgins fell right into their lap, and they said, no, thank you.
Yeah. We can't wait until the third round again to go wide receiver. We got to go first or second to try to get lucky. I don't really have faith in this coaching staff to identify a good wide receiver late. I'm saying we can't end up with one, but if we do, it will be because we got lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Add to Pop. We did hear this. He wants to know if you heard Jordan Palmer will work with Lamar this offseason. Yes, because we didn't. Because I was thinking a different Jordan Palmer, and
the run P guy.
Yes, the run P guy. And it turns out this is the quarterback guru. Listen, I got no worries about Lamar whatsoever. Lamar is going to be a great quarterback. I say that with 100% confidence because he has the talent and he has the desire, and it's full on display. Like all you hear about Lamar Jackson is him working out, right? You see him when you see him on Instagram, he's working out. He's working out with Hollywood. He's working out with AB. It's
not entirely true. I saw him on Instagram today. He was shopping. But,
oh, okay, yeah. Was he shopping for new cleats? Right? Yes, Ferris, we should have drafted Justin Jefferson. We'll get to that in a second. But we'll address that in a second. But yeah, I mean, he's always working out. I mean, he was working out his MVP year. He stayed working out with his I think it was his high school coach. His high school QB coach, just working on his form and everything. Like he wants to perfect his game, and he's had a ton of success early in his career, and even for all his success, he takes those losses to heart. So yeah. I mean, as soon as we lost, he said he was going to put in some more work this offseason, and I completely believe him. And in fact, I know he's going to have another MVP type year this coming year. You look at this year, it was a down year from his MVP season, but he still threw for 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's going to easily throw for over 30 touchdowns again. He was only 4 off this year, and he missed a game because of COVID, and he's had a couple other games in the fourth quarter later on, on a 5-game win streak. So he could have easily been over 30 touchdowns again this year. Next year, he's definitely going to hit it. I just need the coaching staff to, put in the same type of dedication to their play calling as he's putting into honing his craft. Justin Jefferson, Ferris, man, there's a lot of things we could have done in this draft. And if you guys ever want to kind of look at what we said about this draft, you can go to lbhtshow.com, B has written articles on this. I think I did one too. I did an article. I do a little writing. I be writing. All right. We did a mock draft. We talked about what we thought about our draft picks for each of our teams afterwards, and we said this. Like I said the whole time that the Ravens needed to trade up to try to get a CD Lamb or the kid over in Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, because that's another person that Lamar's working out with this offseason was Jerry Jeudy. I felt like we should have been more aggressive getting wide receivers. In fact, I said we need to sign AB and draft Jerry Jeudy. That's what I wanted to do, and I think I had us mocking in our mock draft going up to get him because we had an extra second round pick for trading Hayden Hurst, and we had an extra third round pick. So I figured we package our first round pick, a second and third round pick, move up, get Jerry Jeudy or CD Lamb, right? But we did none of that stuff. We didn't even try to trade to get Justin Jefferson. We could have. There's all kinds of things we could have done. We could have stayed put in taking T Higgins. We did none of that, and we got Patrick Queen. And I love Patrick Queen. I think he's really good, but he does nothing for this team. He does nothing for Lamar. All right, so it is what it is, man. That was another missed opportunity. King Bird thinks he wants to know: do we think Ravens trade for Khalil Mack?
I don't think Chicago's going to be interested in trading Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But if they are, and the Ravens trade for them, we will be printing up some fire EDC T-shirts and have them on the Teespring. Because trading for Khalil Mack and just sitting out on Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins and Adam Thielen and Julio Jones, and Mike Thomas, that would be malpractice.
If the Ravens right now had we drafted Justin Jefferson and we signed AB and we're talking about extending AB for another 2 years or so right now, right? If that was our team right now today, Hollywood, AB, Justin Jefferson, right? And they decided to go and trade for Khalil Mack. Okay, cool, fine. You know, like he's an amazing player. He can definitely be a difference maker on that D line, right? Mm-hmm. Got no problem with that. But we got other needs. I don't care what you do on the defense. I don't care if they traded for Khalil Mack. I don't care if they went and got Honey Badger. I don't care what they did. I don't care if they went and got all the superstars you could think of on defense. It does nothing for the offense. Your star player is Lamar. Okay. #8 is the way. #8 is the way. All right. You have to invest in Lamar Jackson. Don't worry about all the other stuff, man. Like, yes, we're a defensive city, man. Like, that's what we do here. We play defense. And DeCosta said that in his press conference. We want to play physical and we want to run the ball. I get it. But you've never had a player like Lamar Jackson before. And he's showing you, like, he can put the team on his back if you give him some weapons and protection. So that's what we need to do.
Listen, the defense gave up 10 points to the Bills. Yeah. And y'all lost. The answer is not, man, let's see if we can hold them to 7. Yeah. The answer is let's score some points.
We held the Titans to 13. You know, the defense is not a problem whatsoever. You hold a playoff team to 13 points and 10 points, yo. You're not supposed to lose. You're not supposed to lose. Okay. Felipe wants to know what do we think the Ravens will target this offseason? All right, so we'll answer these real quick, and then we'll move on to Chad Wheeler, and then we'll finish up with Max Kellerman. So what I think they're going to do, like I said, when you say what we're going to target, you're talking about free agency in the draft. So kind of what you hit on before, right? I don't think it's going to be AJ Green, but it'll be somebody that's going to be in that category of, you know, a veteran that's not going to cost a whole lot. You know, we kind of identified, you know, maybe Aguilar. I wouldn't be mad at Aguilar, to be honest. I wouldn't be mad at Aguilar. I think we could get lucky. Let me say this. I think we could get lucky this offseason because a lot of teams don't have money. I know Eric DeCosta mentioned that, you know, we might be working with like $20 million in cap or whatever, but we're also, you know, ranked 10th in cap space. So there's only a handful of teams that can outspend us. And it's a matter of, do those teams want the same players that we want? Do those players want to go to those teams? So I think we have a good opportunity to get somebody like Aguilar. I would like Aguilar, Will Fuller. We mentioned Will Fuller. there's some guys that we could get for a decent price that could help out this wide receiver core. Still wouldn't be the guy that I would ultimately want unless we got two of them. Then I'd be okay with that. But yes, I can see one of those type of wide receivers. I think we do bring back Matt Judon, and I think we probably spend our first round pick on an edge rusher. If we're being honest, I think that's probably the route we're going to go, unless there's an O lineman there that's good enough to snag. I think we'll go O lineman either there or in the second round. But if I had to guess, I would say edge rusher in the first, O lineman in the second. So, yes, King Bird, he thinks Michael Thomas will be a great fit for our team. I do think he'd be a great fit, but look, me and B are not the ones. Like, we are not the ones to worry about anybody's attitude and call anybody a head case. Like, we are the opposite of that. We are the opposite of that. We were the ones that say we don't care. We don't care about those what you call distraction, off field, and all that stuff. But man, there's just something about Mike Thomas. There's just there's something about Mike Thomas. I feel uncomfortable. But yes, I would still be happy if we got Mike Thomas.
It's because
obviously
he's so sensitive.
Yeah.
All the time.
Attitude Pop, man. Look,
everything.
Attitude Pop put it in here 5 times. He said Rashad Bateman. Okay, I hear you. He said 5. Okay, cool. I like the enthusiasm, bro. All right, Rashad Bateman. Hey. All right. That's where we're going in the draft. All right.
I feel like Baltimore is in a bad spot because I think most of the first round receiver or all of the first round receivers will be gone before their pick. If I had to guess right now, I'd say they trade out of the first round.
Yeah. I can see that happening too. Just so we can have 12 draft picks again. Man, I hate how we do this, man. I hate how we do this. All right, so we're going to move on to a serious topic, and then we'll finish with a hilarious topic, okay? All right. So for those of you who don't know who this guy is, Chad Wheeler, he's a loser, okay? We talked about losers earlier. And yes, we talked about Slant Boy, Ferris. So Chad Wheeler, soon to be former, was he a tackle or a guard for the Seahawks, was arrested yesterday, and I think he got out on a $400,000 bail for beating his girlfriend, and there are pictures floating out there of how badly he beat her. It is sickening.
If you listen to her, not just beating, but trying to kill. She says that he just went back and after he beat her up, he went back and just started eating his dinner. And when she woke up and came out of the room, he said, "Oh, you're still alive," and just went back to eating. Yeah.
Disgusting. Disgusting, man. And honestly, like, I didn't even hear about that till B told me about that story. I'm just curious to see how this is going to get picked up by mainstream media, right? Given how like they like to cover football players, in domestic violence. I want to see how they're going to cover this guy. Now, he's not a household name. He's not a star player. In fact, he was probably going to get cut by the Seahawks anyway, or he wasn't going to get brought back by the Seahawks. He was just like a special teams guy, in all honesty. But when you have pictures out there like that, that's usually when things like this trend. So the pictures are out there. Reportedly it started because he she wouldn't bow to him like she was his his subject.
Literally.
Yeah. So Ferris. He's garbage, yo. Straight up, he's garbage dude. But we want to see how. Mark Spears did say something on NFL Live today. Good. Not a whole lot to say here. He's just a garbage person, and I hope it gets covered. There's some players float under the radar. If we're being honest, man.
I think there's a good shot that's the end of his NFL career, though.
Yeah. Usually, and this applies no matter who you are, black, white, star player, garbage player. If there are pictures or some type of video involved or audio involved, that's a death sentence for you as a player, right? If it's more hearsay, it can get it is a bigger chance of it getting swept under the rug. But this one, it ain't getting swept under the rug, bro. It ain't getting swept under the rug.
I think teams will be eager to make an example out of Chad Wheeler because he's
He's
not
nobody.
a
Yeah.
starter. You know, he wasn't anybody. So they'll point to him and say, "Hey, look, see, we got rid of him."
Yeah. You're right.
Meanwhile, you just hired Urban Meyer, who was covering up
Yeah.
the abuse of one of the coaches on his staff.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. The NFL does not care.
No.
The NFL does not care. They care about how it looks. And if all it takes is to banish this person and demonize him to make them look good, that's an easy fix. that's a easy win for them, right? Yeah. It's different now. If something like that happened to JJ Watt, then things get a little more complicated, right? But yeah, you think Cowboys or Chiefs would sign him? No, I don't think so. And I hear what you're saying, right? Because they take on problematic players like that as well, right? We talked about Tyreek Hill earlier, and Frank Clark, and I think there was another player that they had on the team.
Yeah,
they had some issues. Yes, that like when you're talented.
What you're saying is if they would sign him, I don't think they're going to sign this particular player because he's not any good.
He's not worth the trouble whatsoever. Right. So never believe what you hear in the media about, certain players not getting signed because they could be a distraction. Like we heard about AB last year, right? Nobody wants to deal with that media circus. No, teams will deal with it because he's talented enough. Right. And those things aren't a distraction. Being asked questions during your interview or press conference or whatever, that's not a distraction to the team, man. Like that doesn't affect how you play, how you go out there and perform. That's just media talk. That doesn't mean anything. But if you're not worth it, right? They don't even want to bother answering questions about you because you're not good enough. That's something different. But all right, we'll move on. Let's finish this out with some on a lighter note, some comedy from our guy Max Kellerman.
Formerly our guy. I don't know what happened to Max.
I'll tell you what happened to Max. He's a company man.
Money.
Yeah. He's a company man.
Up on us.
Look, so these days we watch less and less and less and less, ESPN, FS1 and stuff like that. So sometimes I just miss these things, right? Sometimes people are talking about it and I have no idea what people are saying because I just don't watch the stuff, right? Me and B, now that we're doing a show, we have to just,
now that we're in the industry and we're big time ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't need to watch ESPN.
Like these aren't people we follow, we follow, more like real journalists and people that just tweeting out stuff and, like people that with less of an agenda, I should say. And we just, kind of base our opinions off of that. But this was making the rounds today on our timeline, and I caught wind of it. And Max Kellerman apparently said he would take 7 QBs over Lamar Jackson. And when I first heard it, I was like, okay, whatever. All right, he thinks he's the 8th best QB. But who are the QBs that he named, B?
He named Pat Mahomes. So, okay, obviously. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, DeShaun Watson.
All right.
And, I take issue with a couple of those, but whatever. Then he named Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
Okay, yeah. So, all right.
So what really happened was Max Kellerman came into work with a list of 5 QBs who he would take over Lamar Jackson. And they got into a pre-production meeting and they said, well, we need some engagement. So we're going to add a couple names to this list.
Yes. When I hear these ridiculous headlines, I don't even click on it because I know what they're trying to do. ESPN, especially over the last year, I mean, they went super like WWE, like super fake, right? Yeah. When Mike Greenberg started, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't run. When Mike Greenberg started doing his own morning show, in the beginning it was just kind of like blah, whatever. And they made the decision that, look, we gotta jump the shark a little bit. Like we gotta get loud. We gotta say ridiculous things so we can take these things and make them trend on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. because there was a point where I was just like, why are they always yelling, right? Like why? I get like you want to get a little more, you want to get a little animated because like it's they want this debate type of setting, right? I get that, but like Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, and I'm just like, and Dan Orlovsky was a big one for me because you could tell he's not a yeller, and I'm just like, why are you talking so loud? You're almost hurting my ears. You know what I mean?
And if you followed him before he got that break, he wasn't a hot taker either.
No, he was pretty sensible. But all these guys, they make these hot takes, they make these ridiculous takes because it starts trending, it gets clicks on their YouTube channel, and and all that stuff, and it gets views. So when I see stuff like this, I mean, for the most part, I ignore it. But we want to end the show on a lighter note, so we'll laugh at Max Kellerman a little bit. So listen, Josh Allen had a great year this year. So I'm sure there's some people that might say, yeah, he's better than Lamar. He ain't better than Lamar. All right. He's not better than Lamar. Look, what we call Josh Allen, the difference between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, that's what we call segregation. Okay. That's what we call segregation. All right. The white neighborhood got all the resources. The black neighborhood got none of the resources, yo. All right. In Baltimore, anybody that lives in Baltimore has heard of the black butterfly white L. All right. I'll break it down what that means. So Baltimore, if you look at a map, you can draw out kind of an outline of a butterfly wings, right? That's where you're going to have like your east side and your west side. That's where you're going to have a high concentration of your black residents. And Baltimore is like 80% black, right? So most of that is going to be your black residents are going to live in these areas. And then from the north going down all the way down to Inner Harbor is almost shaped like an L. That's where you're going to see your white residents, right? And if you look at how the resources are broken down, I'm talking about property tax. I'm talking about school funding. I'm talking about jobs, transportation. All of that is concentrated into the white L, right? So I make the comparison with these quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson is the black butterfly. Josh Allen is the white L. Okay. They give Josh Allen all the protection. They got him one of the hottest wide receivers in the game. Right. And really, he don't have the same pressure as Lamar Jackson because his first 2 years in the league, he was throwing for under 60% completion percentage. Right. His first year was awful. I think he had more interceptions than touchdowns. His first year was awful. Yeah. And he was allowed to just, grow and get better. And now he's getting all these accolades for, being just this, he's grown so much and he's one of the top quarterbacks now. Whereas Lamar, the media from the get-go thought he was just a wide receiver or a running back. And all he's done was just prove them wrong. Sam Cook, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through.
What's up, Sam?
So, and then of course Lamar had the MVP year, and the media is they just refuse to say he can play the position.
It's incredible to me, like because it happened with Cam too. Cam and Lamar both win MVP, and you still afterwards have people saying, "Oh, they can't throw."
They can't throw. Yeah.
Josh Allen shows a sliver of ability, and you got people out here saying he's better than Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. He had one really good year, and it was a really good year. He threw, I think he had 67% completion percentage, over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, right? I think like 11 interceptions or something like that. Really good year. I got no problem with that. But if you look at his career compared to Lamar's, Lamar still has passing touchdowns and way less interceptions and a higher completion percentage for their careers to this point. But Lamar can't pass. No. Tanya Bowman, what's going on? Is it Tanya or Tanja? I see sometimes that J makes like a yeah sound, but I want to get it right. But what's going on? Appreciate you coming through.
It's the same thing with Baker Mayfield. He had a hot rookie year, and you had people who are paid to talk about football up there talking about, I can't find a game they'll lose. They're going to go 16-0.
Yeah. and they got real quiet on Baker last year. But he had a bounce back year, and they'll hype him up again. I'm surprised Baker wasn't on Max Kellerman's list, because he was one of the biggest cheerleaders for Baker Mayfield. It took him till like 13 games into last season to say, okay, Baker, maybe he's not good. Oh, we got it right. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Oh, yes. Is it Abs or ABZ? Remember in the Super Bowl, Ted Ginn couldn't make a catch, and they said Cam threw it too hard? Yes.
Nightmare.
Yes.
That ball went straight through his hands to the Broncos.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing, Cam?
Throwing it too hard. Yes, I do remember that.
I mean, I've seen Torrey Holt's fingers, and I don't remember anybody saying Kurt Warner was throwing too hard.
Yeah. Okay, Sam. Listen, Sam. Look, Sam Cook, guys. He's got pressure on him. He says he's over at Lamar's house. He said when he gets back from Florida, in 3 days. All right, look, Sam. Look,
listen, man. Don't be going over there and infecting QB1.
Yeah,
right? Don't be doing it.
Yeah, wear your mask, Sam. Listen. So we're gonna. We got to wrap up the show soon, but we're gonna bring this up. Patreon.com/LBHT show. Right now, if you go on there, we have a $3 tier, and we got great patrons signed up already, like our man Ferris that's in the building right now. Shout out to you, Ferris. Pretty soon we are going to be starting a $10 tier, and look, $10, $3 tier, like you all are going to get some bonuses. Bonus shows, and we're gonna have some other stuff. We're gonna be starting like a fantasy football league for our patron members and Pick'ems league. If you guys if you guys saw our first show, we announced the winner of our year one Pick'ems. Our friend Coach Jay. Right, he ran away with our Pick'ems league.
Slaughtered us.
I'm gonna show you a picture of him. He got this trophy right there. Look at that beauty right there. Look at that beauty. Okay, that's what you get for winning the Pick'ems league. And we're gonna be doing all kind of stuff like that for our patron members. For the $10 tier, we have something. We don't have the actual challenge coin, but I'm gonna show you what a challenge coin looks like. If you don't know what a challenge coin looks like, this is my challenge coin from basic training. I was in the Air Force. For you guys that don't know, I was in the Air Force. This is what we get when we finish basic training. We're working on a challenge coin for our $10 tier patron members. So just a little token of appreciation. Sam Cook, if you do know Lamar, and you can get us aligned to Lamar, we're gonna have one of these puppies just for you. Just for you, okay? No pressure, Sam Cook. No pressure. All right. Okay. All right. You got a few questions here. What do you think Lamar's contract's gonna be? All right. Okay. Listen, I don't know if you actually know Lamar or not, but I will say this. If I'm Lamar or I'm his representative, I'm saying we're not doing any extension right now, unless it's bigger than Pat Mahomes extension. Agent E, what's going on, Agent E? Unless it's bigger than Pat Mahomes extension, we're holding off, because you have to use your leverage to make sure the organization is doing things in your best interest, right? Yes, the money is important, absolutely, but are you protecting my client? Are you protecting Lamar Jackson? Right now, you're not. Lamar Jackson averages 13 rushes per game for his career. 13 rushes per game. He is the leading rusher for the team. We're supposed to, we're the number one number one rushing team. We had the greatest rushing attack ever. Yeah, it's led by a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's led by a quarterback, right? If he doesn't run, we're not that, right? So you're not protecting him on that front. And then you don't even have the O-line. You didn't even invest in the O-line this year, and he got beat up a little bit more. So my thing is this. What are you going to do in terms of O-line protection? What are you going to do in terms of getting me weapons? And what are you going to do in terms of the scheme that you currently have? Because if my guy's going to sign a long-term deal there, we can't continue down this path. Can't happen. So I will hold off. You got 2 more years with Lamar, right before you have to decide to tag him or let him go in free agency. The team does. If I'm Lamar, I'm gonna make them sweat a little bit. I'll say, hey, look, you know what? We'll talk again after the season. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for Lamar to pass up on the money. I mean, he was a late first round pick, so he's not even. I mean,
Sure.
not that he's making nothing, obviously, but he's not making anywhere near what he's worth.
right.
So my assumption at this point would be he's going to sign a 3-year extension, and I think it'll be just shy of $40 million a year.
Right.
So that'll have him under contract for the next 4 years. He'll be able to hit, he'll be able to sign again at about 28 or so, and get another big money deal.
Yeah, you might be right. Like I think, so that's our opinion of it, but I think Lamar loves the organization. Look, players to the Ravens' credit, they love that organization. Like you rarely hear players complain about that organization. Current players, former players, like they usually have good things to say about them. And I think a big part of it is because they're honest, right? More honest than most organizations. They're honest with their players. So I think they have a comfortable relationship, and yeah, I could see him making that happen. But if I represented Lamar, I'd be telling Lamar, look, I love him too, but let's make sure that they're going to protect you long term, because right now he's young. He's only 23 years old or 24.
Tell him like that old Extreme song, More Than Words.
Yeah. Sam Cook thinks 5 years, $250 million.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
That is massive, dude.
If it's that, then I would say go ahead and sign that contract.
Yeah,
What are you waiting for?
Sign that before you leave wherever you're at right now.
Yeah, what are you waiting for? Sign the contract. But anything short the Mahomes deal, because I would have to get paid as much as Mahomes at least. And you can argue whether you think he's better or not. It doesn't matter. He's right up there. So my whole thinks 3 years, $100 million. No. if they came with that offer, no, we're not talking anymore. That's the
It's a little more than the Kirk Cousins deal.
That's the Kirk Cousins deal. That's the Kirk Cousins deal.
When I say just under 40, I'm thinking 37, 38, 39, somewhere in there. And I think it'll be a 3-year deal. So he gets paid, and then he can get another bite at it in a few years. Right. Morgan Cox being cut. I mean, I know it was a big deal for Ravens fans. He's a long snapper.
Yeah. Longevity, like he's a name that you recognize because he's been here forever. He was part of the Wolf Pack, so you hate to see him go, right? And you figure, man, like, was he really costing that much? Couldn't you have just kept him? But no, you couldn't have. And we'll be fine. Great career. He'll probably come back as a special teams assistant coach or something like that.
I don't know how long the average long snapper lasts, but I'm assuming he lasted a lot longer.
He lasted a long time. He was there for 11 years.
It sucks seeing players like that go, but it's coming.
Yeah. Yes, Lamar should get a fully guaranteed deal because they run him so much. Yeah. A good portion of his contract will most likely be guaranteed. Tanya said Marlon Humphrey getting $90 million. Lamar got to get more than the corner. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That is the truth.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll say
because that's the thing. Like, we always talk about what these other positions make, and we got to get this guy, we got to get that guy. The truth is, the quarterback is so much more important than every other position in the league. I saw this guy on Twitter kind of laughing about the Panthers and saying how he was having conversations with people, and they'd be like, yeah, I'd give up 3 first-round picks for DeShaun, and then he'd be like, and then they'd be like, no, well, I wouldn't trade Brian Burns, Derek Brown, and now I can't even remember the other first round. Oh, DJ Moore.
More, yeah.
Because that's their last 3 first round picks, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, everybody wants to give up the picks so they realize what they are. No, I would trade those 3 in a heartbeat for DeShaun Watson. They don't matter as much.
Yeah.
They just don't.
So look, I mean, think about it. We're talking about what the Ravens don't have on offense.
Yeah.
But we went 14-2 last year. This year we went 11-5. That's all because we got the quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all because we got the quarterback. Now, yes, we do want those other weapons so we can get on that Kansas City level, right? Just being completely unstoppable. But look what just having a quarterback does for your team.
Yeah, they were a 4-5 team when Lamar took over, and they finished 6-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you follow us on Twitter at LBHT Show, I think we retweeted. I mean, Graven was talking about it. Somebody posted a screenshot from 2018 saying that John Harbaugh and the Ravens were heading towards a mutual split. That was right before they put Lamar Jackson in the game.
Yeah.
And now he's the man, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it mutual split. It wasn't really mutual because that same offseason, Steve Bisciotti at his press conference had said he had thought about firing John Harbaugh, and he just
John Harbaugh was prepared to accept that. That's mutual.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So I mean, yes, he was absolutely on his way out of here, and yes, that it was going bad. It was being understood on both sides that he's about to be out of there, and Lamar Jackson got into the game and changed the whole trajectory of his career in Baltimore. So, in terms of John Harbaugh, Ferris says, "How did John Harbaugh win a Super Bowl? How? Just how?"
Some people have playoff magic. Eli and Joe Flacco have it.
I will say right place at the right time. Even that year, I don't think he did a great job coaching. I think everything just came together. That year, our defense, we remember that, that team for being defensively great, but that year was not a great defense. But you had Ray Lewis, who missed a certain amount of time. You had Suggs missed a good amount of time. And we weren't looking like a playoff team at some point, but you got it together. We made a little run at the end. We got rid of Cam Cameron, right? And just things just clicked in the playoffs. Like Joe Flacco, man, like a light bulb went off, and he was just like, you know what? I said I'm elite, and I'm about to show you guys I'm elite.
That ain't what he said. That man said, "Oh, my contract's up."
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well,
that too.
That too. I need my money. I need my money. It's like the perfect storm happened, man, and it was a great run, and it was great if you're a Ravens fan. But like I knew, like a bunch of people knew, like after that it was going to get harder. After they paid Flacco, and then they pretended like they didn't have any money to sign anybody else, but they found the money on defense. It was going to get harder. But after that, John Harbaugh at the time didn't have the same type of control over player personnel and coaching staff and all that stuff like he has now. But when you win a Super Bowl, you get that stuff, right? So he immediately got rid of everybody, everybody that was a leader on the team, and he wanted to be the leader. Well, when you're going to be the leader, then there's more pressure on you. And John Harbaugh is he's a good guy. I'm not calling him a bad coach by any means, but there is nothing that I see in him today that makes me think we have to keep him. There's nothing that makes me think we won't be successful without him. Let me say it that way. Right. When was the last time? When was the last time you? Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying the whole thing with Joe Flacco and how people really pushed the whole, oh well, we can't rebuild the team because we're paying Joe Flacco so much. That's not true. That's only true if the quarterback that you pay isn't worth the money. Joe Flacco wasn't worth it, but you had to pay him. He won the Super Bowl, whatever. Pay Lamar Jackson, and the window is still open.
Yeah. Do you want us to sign your Lamar jersey, Sam Cook? Did Lamar sign it? I'll tell you what. You have Lamar sign one side, and we'll sign the other side. How about that? Oh. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and send it to us. We'll sign it.
You pay Lamar Jackson, and the window stays open, just like it did in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I know they haven't cashed in yet, or again, just like it's going to in Kansas City with Pat Mahomes. The truly elite quarterbacks make you a contender every year. Problem is that Joe Flacco just wasn't that guy.
Yeah. So, like B said, wait, what did Tanya say? You know how a lot of Baltimore moves do you guys live here in Bmore? I live in Columbia, so I'm about 15, 20 minutes away from downtown. I actually work for the city of Baltimore. I do IT for them. But why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Yeah, but yeah. We're B's in he's in West Virginia right now though, but still not that far away. About an hour or so, hour and a half away. So we live in the area, and I know Courtney Rogers always coming in late. What's going on, Courtney Rogers? What's going on? See, this is why we never finish on time. We were supposed to finish at 8 sharp. Okay,
People
you guys always do this.
15 minutes later, like what I miss?
Yeah, everything. Look, Baltimore love their team, and local media is always going to stick up for them and say, hey, trust EDC, trust Harbaugh. They know what they're doing. Oh, it's not on Greg Roman. Players got to step up. Thanks, Young Black Intelligent. He said we're on point about Harbaugh. Ferris said that he's laughing at me for being in IT. Whatever. I'm all right. I know stuff. I know how to type. I know how to hit a keyboard. All right.
Then you can say it for the people you're servicing.
Ain't that the truth? Why? So he doesn't think that Young Black Intelligent doesn't think that Harbaugh's getting us to another Super Bowl. Look, all I can say is, like B said, you keep Lamar here, the window's going to stay open for a while. It's not looking good when we have to go through Pat Mahomes because all they do is stack up on offense. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what's going to happen. They're going to win the Super Bowl, and then in the first round, they're going to draft Jamar Chase or somebody like that, right? Like, that's what they do.
I do think they are going to take a receiver because they're going to be losing Sammy Watkins.
Look, listen, I know you're wondering how they're going to get Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to be like, top 10, top 15 pick. They'll trade up and get him the same way they got Pat Mahomes. Right? Like they were a playoff team that year. They weren't picking high enough to get Pat Mahomes, but they said, let's move up and get him. Do you remember what they gave up to trade up and get Pat Mahomes? I don't either. Okay. They just do it. Good teams always find a way. If you're a good team and you're a winning team, your draft position is never an issue. Your cap space is never an issue. Right. For good teams, a cap space is not a real thing. That's just something to keep bad teams down. Okay. So if you want to win, you want to get players, you will find a way to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We are going to finish there. This is going to be one of the things that we're going to start doing for our Patreon members. We're going to start doing like a little bonus time when we run late like this. So, if you guys aren't
Courtney,
yet,
go sign up.
Yes. Courtney, Tanya, Sam Cooke and Lamar Jackson, right? All you guys. Oh, hold on. I took my banner down. You guys didn't even tell me. You didn't even tell me. Hold on a second. Let's bring this back up so you guys can get the info. You guys can get the info here. Yeah, cause I put Coach's trophy up. That's why.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find one. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Look much more professional.
Okay, if you guys have $3 to spare per month, just three. Go ahead, right there. Patreon.com/LBHT show. You will really help us out. Okay. And like I said, we're going to be doing a $10 tier here pretty soon. You guys are going to get a nice shiny coin. Not this one, but like this one. Okay. That's a challenge coin. You like that? Oh, yeah. So, go over there. Time for $3. Support the show, and we're gonna be doing bonus shows. We're gonna be doing, we'll probably be doing some more articles. We used to write a lot of articles in the beginning when we were just a podcast. Extra podcasts, we'll do stuff like that. And if you guys are into fantasy football, we're gonna be doing a fantasy football league. In fact, I need you guys to start signing up so we can decide what kind of fantasy football league we want to do, because me and B like doing like dynasty leagues and things like that, or keeper leagues. So you know, we want to get you guys' input. What kind of leagues are you into? So you know, sign up, give us your input, and we can start putting that together. And we'll also do a pick'ems league for next year. But all right, so we're getting out of here. Next week, we'll start talking some off-season moves. You know, get more into like the draft and you know, players we should be targeting in the draft. So all right, guys. Oh, Ferris said he's never done a dynasty league. Okay.
Well, yeah, you gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. Look that up, and we'll discuss that. We're all about it now. We're all about dynasty leagues.
Yeah.
You're basically building your team.
Yeah, we're talking like you know, you got in our one league, we've got 53 players on the roster and 10 on a practice squad. Well, 6 on a practice squad and then like 10 on injured reserve.
Yeah,
and those are your players.
Yeah. Okay, Sam. I'm gonna answer this last one. He said, please answer. Will they keep Judon and Des Bryant? I think Judon, yes. Des Bryant, no.
Des Bryant's gone. He's got to be gone. He better be gone.
If he's not gone, we're gonna have problems. We are going to have problems. So yeah. All right, guys. That is it. Let me bring the music up. We gotta bring out our outro. Y'all, thank you for joining, man. Really appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been really supporting the show. Me and Bronny work really hard behind the scenes, and you know, just keep showing up. We're gonna have some more hot fire for you guys in the future. So, all right, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. See you next time.
Thank you.
Peace out.